until the fruit is nearly dead ripe.
Sorry about that.
This is London. You will now hear a statement by the Prime Minister.
I am speaking to you from the Cabinet Room at 10 Downing Street. This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, that they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland, a state of war would exist between us. I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
Give them an intake. Take me out.
I should have finished this off with you.
Which
Excuse me.
Oh, Mr. Oakley. I thought I spotted you sitting at the back there. Only, you've heard that our choir master, Walter Wingate, has just been called up.
No.
Which, as you can imagine, does rather present us with a bit of a problem.
Oh.
Only I have it on good authority that you're something of a musician yourself.
I used to play the organ a bit, if that's what you mean. Doesn't mean I know anything about choirs, or would want to.
We all have to do our bit, you know. It's your duty.
When I need you to tell me what my duty is, Mrs. Ford, I'll let you know.
At least tell me you'll think about it, Mr. Oakley.
I'll think about it. Well?
You realise I am the billeting officer for this area?
What's that to do with me?
His name is William Beach, and his mother says she'll only let him be evacuated if he's put with someone who's either religious or lives near a church. And the Home Office says it is obligatory to take one. So I'm sorry, Mr. Oakley, but he just has to go somewhere.
You'd best come in then. Come on. We'll take your make off. Look, if you've had enough, leave it. So, where are you from?
London.
Look, I have to go out. You're all right for a bit on your own, will you?
Yeah.
Right. Have a look outside if you want. I'm not having him, and that's that. What do I know about kids at that age?
Excuse me, Mr. Oakley. You have got him, whether you like it or not. And if you don't, well, you're just going to have to lump it, aren't you? For what it's worth, I wasn't happy about leaving the child with you either. But I'm afraid it's a case of needs must, Mr. Oakley. There's not another spare bedroom going in the entire village.
Then try another village.
Out of the question. Look, we all have to put our shoulders to the wheel, Mr. Oakley. Even you. There is a war on, you know.
Mr. Oakley, about the choir practice.
Yes, I said I'll try and be there.
Hello. You're one of the London lot, aren't you?
Yes, miss.
And a regular wild bunch too, I've heard.
What's your name, then?
William Beach.
Well, William Beach, I expect I'll be seeing you in my class shortly. And it's not Miss, it's Mrs. Mrs. Hartridge, all right?
So who are you billeted with, then?
He lives there.
Oh, you mean Tom. Well, goodbye, William.
No talk about killing, all right? Because I reckon we've got about enough of that already. Now, as far as the dog's concerned, it's my dog, that. His name's Sammy. And he's soft as me pocket, really. So don't you go taking no more sticks to him. Do you hear? Well, now what? Well, surely he never thought.
Dear Sir or Madam, I asked if Willie could go and stay with God-fearing people, so I hope he has. Like most boys, he's full of sin, but he has promised to be good. But just in case, I've put the belt in.
Good night, then.
Good night, mister.
You can call me Tom.
Sorry, mister.
Get them wet things off. And the jacket. Now, here's the post office. If you just get a stamp and post this for me, will I have a quick word with the doctor?
Your mum won't be able to read that.
Yes, she will. She's got one of these too. And this way, you see, you get twice as much on.
Thank you.
You see, when I got him up this morning, I found he'd wet the bed.
Not uncommon occurrence, Tom. The child who's been ripped out of his home practically by the roots and dumped in some alien place.
But what am I supposed to do about it?
What we're all having to do these days, Tom.
Huh?
The best we can under the circumstances.
So, what's your name?
William. William Beach.
What's yours? Zacharias Wrench. My parents' idea of a joke, I think. But you can call me Zach. Who've they put you with?
Mr. Tom.
I'm here with the doctor and his wife. Friends of my mum and dad's. It'll come in handy, I suppose, if I'm never ill.
All right. Come on, then.
See you around.
Yeah, bye.
Good lads. Have you got your Anderson up yet?
It's been delivered.
I'll send the lads round if you like, give you a hand.
I can manage, thanks.
Who said you couldn't?
You still a member of that knitting circle round at the church?
Of course.
Only, you'll have heard I've been landed with one of these evacuees.
Talk of the village.
I bet. Only the only clothes he's got are what he's standing up in, you see.
You haven't got to clothe them, you know.
Or he wasn't planning to. It's just that I was wondering if between you could, like, rustle him up a couple of things.
I'll think about it.
What's all this?
My mum sent them for young William. Well, there's no way I, George, can get into them anymore.
Right, thanks.
See you later, Mr. Oakley.
Will ya?
Give you a hand with the Anderson.
Ah, that.
For me?
Well, who else? Well, come on. Let's see if they fit. Never mind. Come on, then. Now, I thought you were supposed to be helping.
My new shirt will get dirty.
Then take it off. Go and change it then.
Aren't you roasting in that jumper, William? No.
He's got a temperature, hasn't he? Trying to sweat it out of himself, if you must know. Well, come on then, chop, chop. Want this finishing by tonight? I'm going over to the church for a bit. Back in about an hour, all right?
All right.
Just a minute. I mean, have I been wasting my time these last months or what? It's uplifting people, what, not burying. Now start again. Let's put a bit of beef into it this time.
Some sort of problem, is there, Mr. Oakley?
Nothing I can't sort out, if left to get on with it.
Right.
Now, this time, I want to hear you, all right? So...
And in those sweet ancient time, warm upon England's mountains green, and was the holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures see.
Have you no more sense than to be out here this time of night? Do you want to catch your death?
You said we had to finish it tonight.
What? All right, come inside then. Come on. Ever touch that instrument again without my permission. Is that clear? Look, I'm going fishing this afternoon, if you want to come. I can just about manage, thanks.
There's Will about.
Will?
Running for William. Only I think Willie sounds silly, don't you? So, here's William.
We were just off out, actually.
Oh, going somewhere nice?
Fishing.
Really? Can I come?
Afternoon.
Zach, is your dad really an actor?
And my mum. Of course, Dad's an auxiliary fireman now.
Mrs. Hartridge's husband's a pilot.
I wish I was.
Well, cheer up. Sunday school you're going off to, you know. Not your own hanging. Got everything, have you? Right. Off you go then.
I'm sorry, William. It's the door just across the hall.
William? Now, what's the matter?
They put me with the babies.
Can we have a word?
Of course, Mr. Oakley.
William tells me you've put him in the babies class.
That's right, Mr. Oakley.
Well, would you mind telling me why, when you've got all his friends in your class?
Because they can read and write.
Now, join up the dots and see what you end up with. Never mind. Now, try again. Only this time, take your time. Don't try stabbing it to death. There you are. Have another go.
It's bad, isn't it?
No, it isn't. Not bad at all. Now just get on with the next one. That's it. There you are, you see? You've written your own name.
Oh, Mr. Tom.
Now, draw a line under that and get it copied. And before you do, just you draw me another line. Them straighter than I can do with a ruler. Wherever did you learn to do that?
Just did it.
Go on then, get it copied.
Won't I go to hell?
Hell?
Only you go to hell if you copy, don't you? It's cheating.
Well, whatever lunatic told you that? Never mind. Just do it. And if a chap with horns and a pitchfork comes looking for you, we'll blame me, all right? The tinderbox. A soldier was marching along the high road. Right, left, right, left. Everybody used to mock him and make fun of him. The eldest son wanted to go and cut wood.
The kingdom was certainly very small.
say, Mr. Tom?
In loving memory of Rachel Oakley, aged 27 years, a dearly beloved wife. Also, John Oakley, aged 5 years, a dear son, now with God.
And did they just die?
No. They caught scarlatina,
What's scarlatina?
a disease, a killer, at least in them days. 2 weeks, it was all over, or so I'm told.
Why didn't you catch it?
Because I wasn't here, was I? No. I was on a ship on convoy duty, fighting for king and country, as they say. No way of getting home, of course. In fact, by the time I did, I was already in the ground.
What was he like, John?
Oh, he was bright as a button, sharp as sixpence. He was naughty sometimes, but full of life to the brim. In fact, very much like her, really. Anyway, what's this? Out here in your pyjamas, not even dressed yet.
I wanted to show you something.
Huh?
Come on. Come on.
Well?
Dry, Mr. Tom. It's dry.
Hey, that's great, William. That's really great.
Somebody's birthday, is it? Been steaming them open again, have you, Matthew? Any from London?
Never noticed any London postmarks.
You do surprise me. Two and 6?
This is quality stuff, Mr. Oakley.
I suppose it was only a matter of time once the war had started, before the profiteers started coming out the woodwork.
Thank you.
So this is where you've been hiding yourself. You do realise your tea's been on the table for nearly half an hour, do you?
Sorry, Mr. Tom.
I should think you are.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear William. Happy birthday to you.
Go on then, blow.
And if you manage to blow them all out, you get to make a wish. Only you can't tell anybody that wish, because otherwise...
Just blow the damn things out, will you?
So didn't you even send him a card then?
Nothing.
Shame on her. Now come on, let's have a tune out of you.
Come on, Alice. You know better than to ask that.
Look, Rachel wouldn't have thanked you, you know, for letting it rot away in the corner just because she's not here to play it anymore. You can't grieve forever, Tom. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know. Goodbye, Piccadilly.
Farewell, Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's from there. Oh, and this is for you as well, by the way. Nearly forgot to give it to you. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Mr. Tom. This has been the best time I've had in my whole life.
Obviously.
Come in.
Mrs. Black said I were to see you before I went home.
That's right, William. I've got a bit of news for you.
Mr. Tom, I've been moved up to Mrs. Artridge's class. She says I can read and write good enough now.
It's from your mum, William. Seems she's not been very well. Want you back.
Where have they come from, Mr. Tom?
place called Dunkirk. Lucky to get out alive, I heard. Walk on. Don't forget to write. And if you do change your mind about them paintings of yours, you just let me know and I'll post them to you, all right?
They belong here with you. And anyway, they'll still be here when I get back, won't they?
Of course they will.
I will be coming back, won't I?
Of course you will. Now, you just take good care of yourself, you hear? You just take your time. You haven't seen your mother for a few months, so it's going to be a bit awkward at first.
I'll miss you.
You'll make sure he gets off all right. Don't worry.
Then, son. Rise and shine.
Willie? You look different.
Put weight on. See, I'll take that for you.
I'll say what to take and not to take.
So, how are you feeling now?
Fine. I'm fine.
Only they said you was ill.
Did they? So, what you got in the bag then?
Just me things. And a present for you from Mr. Tom.
Mr. Tom?
Mr. Oakley, the man I stays with down there.
Well, I don't need charity, thank you.
It's just some bed tops. And Mrs. Little, that's the doctor's wife, she sent you a bottle of tonic wine.
Wine? Haven't I told you about the evils of drink?
It ain't a real drink, Mum, like you get in a pub. It's got iron in it to help you get your strength back.
And what would you know about what you get in a pub?
When we get home, I want no noise from you, all right?
Why?
Because nobody has to know that you're here, that's why. And when we get inside, I've got a surprise for you.
What's that smell?
What smell?
Doesn't matter. No dog is it, this surprise?
What surprise?
This surprise you got for me.
It's over there, in the box.
It's a baby.
It's a present from Jesus. Don't you dare! Bit of discipline, that's all she needs.
She's just a baby, Mum.
Sit down. Now! Oh, God, but isn't my life bad enough as it is? Stuck here on my own in this house, night after night, frightened up out my head half the time, without you starting.
What are you frightened of, Mum? The air raids, is it?
The air raids. Look, if we're killed, we're killed. And that's God's will, right?
So, what are you frightened of, then?
Of what's going on out there, of course. Oh, Willie, if you knew. If you only knew what's going on out there. The filth. The rising tide of filth.
Perhaps you see somebody, Mum.
Like who? Like an head doctor, perhaps. That's what you think, is it? That perhaps I'm off my head, just 'cause I know what's going on out there. You just keep a civil tongue in your head, my lad. Or else. You have bought it back, haven't you? The belt.
I forgot.
Liar. Liar! Ah! You left it behind on purpose, didn't you? Didn't you?
No, Mum, honest.
But I can get another, you know. Oh, yeah, I know a shop where they sell lots of them. Now get upstairs, out of my sight. And you can shut up and all. Your favourite. Certainly got your appetite back anyway. Must be all that fresh air, I expect. Oh. Such a beautiful baby you were, though. Proud as punch I was. Wheeling you out in your pram. Sun shining. People stopping. Just stopping just to look at you. Where'd you get him from then, Mrs. Evan? Happiest days of my entire life then, Willie. Finished?
Mum?
What's this?
My present to you. It was Mr. Tom's idea.
Mr. Tom?
I told you, the man I stay with down there. Well, go on, open it. I swear I live down there.
Did you steal this?
I did it myself.
Liar.
I did, Mum. Honest I did.
And these? Where did these come from then, eh? Did you steal these as well?
They were presents from Ginny and Carrie.
Girls? You've been mixing with girls down there?
But they're nice, Mum, and they all go to church. Well, except Zach, of course.
Zach?
He's my best friend.
And why doesn't he go to church then?
Because they ain't got one down there. A synagogue, I mean.
A synagogue?
That's what they call their church, the synagogue.
He's Jewish. You're telling me that you've been consorting with Jews down there?
But what's wrong with Jews, Mum? Like Zach says, Jesus was a Jew, wasn't he?
Blasphemer. Blasphemer! You know what we do with blasphemers in this house?
No, Mum! Please! Not there! Please, Mum! Not there!
Buildings. Overhead, I can hear the pulsing drone of the circling bombers. Below ground in the shelters, men, women and children listen to the muffled sounds of bombs and anti-aircraft fire.
Mr. Oakley? Still no news then?
Afraid not.
Sorry, Tom. Still nothing from London, I'm afraid. What's it been? Weeks now, eh? Bit of bad news to Mrs. Hartridge up at the school. That young husband of hers, one of Fly Spitz, missing. Believed dead.
Contact him, Mr. Oakley.
Only I thought I'd have heard from him by now, you see. It's been over a month.
It does tend to happen like that, you know, once they get back into the home environment. And after all, only natural for a boy of that age, I suppose, to prefer to be with his own.
Lost, are we, sir?
Looks like it.
Never mind about that now. Let's get down the shoulder. Come on. Come on. Come on, there we are. Oh, sorry, mate. No dogs allowed in the shoulder.
So what am I supposed to do with him, eh? Leave him out here to be blown to bits?
Oh, come on, then. And he definitely didn't run away, you say? Only it's happening all the time. Kids just taking off, coming back to London.
No question of that. Look, I just want to make sure he's all right, that's all.
And you've got an address for him round here, have you? Well, come tomorrow morning, God willing. We'll see if we can find him for you, shall we? Young couple, just married. He was home on embarkation leave.
And are they both?
Oh, yeah. Bloody war. Well, I suppose you'll be wanting to find this kid of yours, right?
If it's not...
Just give me 10 minutes, will you?
Of course.
Mrs. Beach you wanting? She's not here.
Well, do you know where she's gone?
Gone to the coast, she said.
And what about the boy? Did he go with her?
Can't remember ever seeing any boy.
Little lad. 10 years old.
Oh, young Willie, you mean? Evacuated to the country last I heard. Probably just as well. Quiet boy. No friends as such. Bullied a lot. Sitting target, really. I mean, this house, real house of mystery, you know. You don't know, hear some funny things sometimes.
What sort of things?
Well, whimpers sometimes. Bumps.
Bumps?
Like somebody humping furniture about.
Well, people do move furniture about.
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
So when did you last see her?
About a week ago. In fact, I nearly dropped dead with shock when she condescended to speak to me. Talk about la-di-da.
There's nobody in there, Rover.
Not like him to make a fuss over nothing, though. Smell something, do you?
Look, I'll see if I can find a copper. Oi, hang on a minute.
Why didn't you come? I kept calling for you, but you didn't come.
Are you related to this child?
No.
Then who are you?
The one who found him.
And just in time, I'd say.
All right. Take him down to Children's and see that he gets a tetanus. And what the hell is that dog doing in here?
I'm sorry, you really will have to get that animal out of here, you know.
It won't be far away. Don't you worry.
Tom, how is he?
Any news about the mother?
No. We'll be prison for her, I reckon, when I do catch up with her.
And is there a husband?
There was once, apparently. Found dead in an alley years ago, choked on his own vomit. Seems his idea of family life was drinking himself silly, then coming home and using her as a punch bag. The kid as well, I shouldn't wonder. So, you'll be going back to the country now, will you?
Not without William, I won't.
God, what died in here then?
Quiet, Sam.
Here, let me.
What the hell's been going on here?
All right. Let me have the baby, son.
Get away.
Let me. What's his name then, William?
It's an her. I call her Trudy.
Trudy. That's a nice name. You gonna let me have a hold then? Keep an eye on him, will ya? Thanks.
He's in deep shock, Mr. Oakley. We've had to keep him well sedated, I'm afraid.
Well, saves combing, I suppose. How are you feeling now?
I had a nightmare. They stuck this needle in me. Can't I come in with you, Mr. Tom?
I'm afraid you have to leave now.
Don't go. Stay a bit more.
Now, you just concentrate on getting yourself better, all right?
Not something I have a lot of faith in myself, mind you, drugging them. You'll be Mr. Tom, then?
Tom Oakley.
My name's Stelton. I'm a psychiatrist. I work in conjunction with a children's home. Our feeling is that he'd benefit from treatment there.
What sort of treatment?
Psychiatric treatment.
I'd like him to come back home with me.
As I understand it, you aren't actually related to him, Mr. Oakley.
So, are there any other relatives who'd take him in?
Well, that's, of course, something that we would have to go into.
And if there aren't?
As I said, there is the children's home.
I kidnapped you. That's what I did, boy. I kidnapped you. Oh, I kidnapped you. I kidnapped you!
Well, they seem to have patched you up pretty well at the hospital, William. Now, you just settle down. I'll call in to see you again tomorrow, all right? The sores will soon heal, of course. It's the wounds inside we need to worry about.
Right.
And you do realise, don't you, Tom, that sooner or later they're bound to come looking for him.
Nah, they're far too busy to go chasing evacuees. Besides, they didn't even know he was in London. She sorted that.
Good night, then, Tom.
Night, Doctor. Oh, and you will let young Zach know he's back.
You mean he hasn't been round here yet?
Hey! Come on now, come on.
It's him, Mr. Tom. It's him.
How are you feeling?
I want to come down.
All right. Oh, dear. That's all right, all right. Get back in. There we are. Don't worry. Don't worry. They'll get stronger. There we are. Don't you ever knock?
Sorry. So, can I see him today, Mr. Oakley?
When he's had his breakfast, you can.
But it takes ages. You know what he's like. He chews everything.
I thought we all did.
Not everybody. I just give one a quick bite to swallow it.
Mr. Tom?
Yes?
Is that Zach down there?
Go on, now. Take that up.
Thanks, Mr. Oakley.
So what's been happening while I've been away?
Not a lot. Been dead boring, really. Oh, except Mrs. Hartridge's husband got shot down and killed. Lisa never found him, but she still had the baby, okay?
Baby?
You did know she was having a baby?
No.
But you must have noticed how big she'd got. You do know about sex and stuff, don't you?
Only it's something dirty and you go to hell for it.
That's rubbish, Will. My dad says sex is just a man and a woman's way of showing how much they love each other. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for sex, any of us.
But can't a lady have a baby on her own?
Of course not. There has to be a man involved.
Right, Zach. Home time for you, I think. You don't want William overdoing it.
But I can't come and see him tomorrow, Mr. Oakley.
Of course you can.
In that case, I'll see you tomorrow then, Will.
So, what's all that about then?
Zach says a lady can't have a baby without a man.
Oh, yeah?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Trudy's dead, isn't she?
I think you knew that already, didn't you?
Anna killed her.
You killed her?
I should have got out. I did try. Honest, I did.
Well, of course you did. Only you were tied up, right? Only what you have to remember is that the way she treated you and the baby was because your mum was sick, William. In fact, very sick, I'd say, to do what you did. The trouble was, with this war on, people so busy surviving themselves to even notice, so there was no one to help. Now, you tell me something, William. This nightmare you keep having, it's always the same one, right? And it's always the same man. Who is he, this man?
Just this man.
And what does this man do in your dream?
Just keep saying I have to go with him.
Hello? What are you doing here?
Come to see Mrs. Hartridge.
She's round the back.
Hello, William. Now, this is my Peggy, who looks just like her dad, they reckon. So, how are you feeling now?
I'm all right.
Oh, well. But at least you're back safe and sound anyway, eh? So, how about a glass of lemonade, then?
Yeah, please.
Then you just hold on to my Peggy for me, will you? While I get it.
That's where my dad's based. In the East End.
He'll be all right.
Of course he will.
I'm afraid we have some bad news for you, William. It's about your mother.
She don't want me back again, does she?
She's dead, William.
Dead?
I'm afraid she drowned herself, son.
Now, Dr. Stelton's here from a children's home in Sussex. Lovely place, from what I'm told. Right out in the country.
I'm sure you're going to like it there, William.
I want to stay here with Mr. Tom. Tell them, Mr. Tom, I want to stay here with you.
Now then, that's enough of that, my lad. Mr. Oakley is in trouble enough as it is. It's a serious offence, this kidnapping.
I weren't kidnapped. I were rescued.
Why doesn't William wait upstairs?
Go on then, up you go.
William.
The man in your dream. Is that him? The one with the moustache? Right. This, children's home you're on about taking him to.
Oh, yes.
You're in charge there, are you?
That's right.
Only, he's been having these nightmares, you see, ever since I got him back here.
It's hardly surprising, Mr. Oakley, after all he's been
About
through.
you, apparently.
Me, Mr. Oakley?
That you're going to come and take him away again. In fact, he wakes up regularly, screaming about it.
All of which bears out what I've just been saying, I think. What the lad needs is specialist medical treatment.
What the lad needs is love, Dr. Stelton. Something he hadn't seen a lot of, apparently, before he came to me. Now, are you people really trying to tell me that he's going to get more of that where you're on about taking him to than he is here? Because if you are, I'm telling you, you're talking a right load of rubbish.
Mr. Oakley, Dr. Stelton is one of the very best people in his field, and you can take it from me that along with the rest of us, his one and only concern here is for the boy's own welfare. Let's get a spot of fresh air. Shall we, Mr. Oakley? But then it isn't the boy's welfare this is all about. Really, is it, Mr. Oakley?
Isn't it?
No, it's about you, I'd say. Your welfare.
Me?
A lonely, and from what I hear, embittered old man, facing a lonely and bitter old age.
You really think that's the only reason I want him back? Just to be company for me when I'm past it?
Well, isn't it, basically?
No, it bloody well isn't, and I resent the implication.
Doesn't it bother you at all that when you're 70, he's still going to be in his teens?
Of course it bothers me. I'm not stupid, you know. There's not a lot we can do about that, is there? Look, I know it's not an ideal situation, anything but I'll put it this way. It's got to be a damn sight more ideal than your Dr. Stelton in there turning him into some sort of human guinea pig.
Just tell me one thing, Mr. Oakley. Why is the boy suddenly so important to you? He's an evacuee, for God's sake. And one at that, as I understand it, you took violent exception to having foisted on you in the first place.
Isn't it obvious?
Not to me, no. Nor to Dr. Stelton.
Because I love him, of course. As if he was my own flesh and blood, I do. And for what it's worth, I think he loves me as well.
And is that really enough, do you think, in this day and age?
Well, I suppose it has to be, hasn't it, Mr. Greenway? In this day and age or any other. Because if it isn't, what else is there, eh?
I won't go with them, Mr. Tom. I won't go with them.
Oh, won't you?
No, I won't.
Just as well then, isn't it? 'Cause nobody's asking you to.
What?
Come here. You see that one in the dark suit?
Yeah.
Well, he's from something called the Home Office. And he reckons that after all the trouble you've caused, he don't want you back anymore, thanks. So, as long as I adopt you, all legal and proper like, looks like I'm stuck with you, doesn't it?
Oh, Mr. Tom! Mrs. Little, can I see Zach? Only I got some really great news to tell him.
Of course you can, William. He's upstairs, packing.
Packing?
Yes. You see, he's just had some news himself. Not very good news in his case, I'm afraid.
Got a phone call from my mum. They bombed the docks. My dad was there. I'm sure he'll be alright, of course. Take more than a German bomb to stop him. Only I have to go and see him. Just in case he's...
Are they going to bomb us, Mr. Tom?
Saving them for London, I expect.
This is the BBC Home Service. Here is the news. Last night's mass air raid on London is estimated to have been the heaviest of the war so far. At least 400 people have been killed and 1,400 seriously injured. Fires are still burning all over the city, and many homes in the East End have been razed to the ground. The fire and the rescue...
Still no word from Zach, then?
Afraid not.
That poor child.
Stop pushing.
Come along.
Oh, William. William.
Has anybody any idea where William is today?
No, Mrs. Hartridge.
William? Is William all right, Mr. Oakley?
Well, He's still very upset, of course, but... Why?
Only that he didn't turn up at school today. Or rather, he did. Then...
Where have you been? You all right?
Yeah.
Up you go and wash then. Tea will be on the table in 5 minutes.
I'm not hungry.
Can we have a word, Doctor?
Of course, Tom. Come in.
Dr. Little sent it round for you. Thought you might like to learn to ride it. Sure Zach would have wanted you to have it. Now, you just come with me for a minute. Come on! You think you're the only person who ever lost anybody? It's happening to people all over. This very minute. And all because some maniac wants to rule the world. And how do you think I felt, eh, when it happened to me? It's not just my wife I lost, you know. She was my best pal as well. My very best. And my lad. May not even here. Except I didn't lose them, you see. Not really. Because they're still here. Inside here. And always will be. Just like Zach will be for you. In every little thing you'll ever remember about him. And that is something that nobody can ever take away from you. Nobody. Ever.
William! William! What's wrong, Mrs. Artridge? Nothing's wrong, William. It's just... Well, I had to tell somebody. See, I've just had this telegram about my David. And he isn't dead after all. He's alive. A prisoner of war. Isn't that wonderful, William? Isn't that absolutely wonderful?
Yes, Mrs. Artridge. Really wonderful.
me.